welcome to another episode. Hi, Jess. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Let's do a check-in. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good. Do you want to go first?
I went first last time, so how
Okay.
about you go first? this
Okay,
time?
yeah, we can do that. So, I'm really good. I had a really good weekend. I took off Thursday from work, which you know.
Yes.
And I went
Sad.
to see the Two Hot Takes podcast live with my other best friend. And it was so good. It was hilarious. It was great. We did like meet and greet, and we got to meet Morgan, Lauren, and Morgan's fiance, Justin.
Oh, awesome.
Which was cool. They were like a good vibe. And then the meet and greet was before the show, and it was a table setting, and like it was just like they were sitting everyone at a table. Like you couldn't have a table for yourself. Oh. So I was like a little bit scared. I was like, oh.
What if you had gotten separated or something?
Well, and like luckily there's no one there, so we were able to get like tables in the front. And then the guy was going around, he's like, by the way, it's a sold out show, so either way
you're gonna have people.
We're gonna have people. So he's like, I'd recommend scooting up anyway. So we went up to this table, and there was these two wonderful lesbian lovers, and they're like, oh yeah, sure, you can sit with us.
Nice.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, just they were funny. They're like two lesbian girlfriends.
Nice.
And they're super sweet. It was actually one of their birthdays, and they were nice to hang out with for a little bit and talk. And I actually had my little Polaroid camera.
Oh, cute.
And I was like, oh, by any chance, do you guys want a picture? And then super cute, they both already collected mini Polaroids. Aww. And they pulled them out and showed us all of them. And I was like, oh my God. I was like,
that's sweet.
Cute. But yeah, it was a really good time. The stories were hilarious because they set out a little Google form and like pick stories from the crowd, and we're like, do you have any comments? And they're like walking around.
That's hilarious.
It was really good. And then like my friend got us a really beautiful Airbnb, like right by the water.
Yeah, like you showed me pictures.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous.
Literally, the water was right outside our window, and so beautiful.
Dude, so when I was at work, sorry to interrupt your story, but when I was at work, because you said you took that day off.
Yeah.
I was at work and I went to, I think, lunch or something. One of our coworkers who has you, I guess, on whatever on your stories, able to view your stories, they stopped me and they were like, where is Jess at? This is so gorgeous. And I was like, it's her Airbnb. I was like, it's so cute, isn't it? It looked literally so beautiful. But anyway,
yeah, it was. And the only complaint I have is that the stairs to get down into the bungalow were like so long and steep. And it was a mission. And like every time we like went back down, we're like, don't forget anything.
Yeah,
we did.
We
did. We had to go up and down a few times. And then it was like really nice. But when we got back after the podcast, it was literally, I think like 1:30, because that's the time the guy from upstairs came and banged down our door. But we were literally just watching TV. I think it was like on 20, like super, super, super low, like, because it was like an older TV anyways. And this dude is like pounding on the door, like so aggressively pounding on the door. And I looked at my friend and he kept banging, and so I went to go open the door. I was like, can I help you? And he was like, it is 1:30 in the morning and people are trying to sleep. And he's like, I don't know what you guys are doing in there. And I was like, we're literally watching TV, like, and he's really rude. And he's like, well, some of us are trying to sleep.
What?
And I was like, what the heck? And like,
does he own the Airbnb?
I think he was just staying in the room above us.
Oh, that was like a room we could rent too? Okay.
So I don't know if he lived there, if he was just renting it, but the TV was so low, and he kept like trying to like look over my shoulder. He's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on in here. I hear the laughing. And I'm like, dude, we're watching a funny show. Like, I don't know what
You're
the heck
not allowed
you
to
want
laugh.
Exactly. So you're super annoyed by that. But besides that, it's really fun. And then after the podcast, we ended up going to find food. And went to eat at this place called The Melt. And it was so good. I got this cheeseburger, and it just like had a bunch of cheese on it, and it kind of tasted like an In-N-Out cheeseburger with their sauce. And I had a milkshake, and it was Snickerdoodle milkshake.
Oh, nice. That sounds hella good.
It was delicious.
Yeah, the photos you sent, the burger, dude. When you say it had cheese on it, that just looked like it had cheese
so much
on
cheese.
it. It looks so
good.
So good.
Oh my gosh, also unrelated. Well, related because we sat there to eat.
Uh-huh.
And like there's the bathrooms and I could see the bathrooms. I need to put a code in. And this girl goes in, then she comes out. And then this guy goes in with the code. He knocks first, then goes to the bathroom. And then, like, 5 minutes later, the girl comes back to the door with the code. Like, so I don't know if, like, whatever. And then she doesn't knock and she starts to go in. And I don't say anything because I don't know what to say.
Oh my God. You're just watching it.
She didn't even knock. And then she just goes to open it. And then you just hear someone yell. And then she just closes it and then goes to the other bathroom.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I was like, I wish I would have said something, but I didn't. I couldn't. My brain was like in shock.
I wonder if my first instinct would have also been to just put the pin in and go, or if I would have tried to knock first. Because I guess I would assume they would tell me, like, knock first.
Yeah.
But if
and it had a deadbolt, so I don't think the guy deadbolted because I went to pee after I was done eating, and like I definitely locked it.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Also, sorry to jump back, but I just remembered during the podcast, because we were sitting in the very front, like right next to the stage, they asked for drinks, like right when the show started, and then the person that ran them the drinks put both of the drinks down, and like Morgan got her drink, but Lauren didn't notice that her drink was there, and I don't think Morgan noticed it either. And like the whole time I wanted to yell out that her drink was right there because you could see her water and she was just taking like little sips, and I could tell she's like trying to like spare it, and she seems
preserve it.
thirsty.
That's so funny.
And I wanted to like yell like your drink is there, but I also didn't want to be that person.
Yeah.
And an hour passes by and I can see her and she's like
dang, where's my
so
drink?
Thirsty. And then finally like towards the end of the show, I was like, your drink's right there.
Oh, you did?
I did. And she's like, oh my God, is this my drink? I've been looking at it for the whole time.
Oh
and
my God.
She's like, thank you so much. And then Morgan's like, oh, I was wondering why there was so many. And it was hilarious.
My goodness.
And I was like, I'm sorry I didn't say it sooner. I was like, it was killing me. Every time I saw her try to like sip out of the little bit of water she had left.
That's hilarious.
But, yeah, I just had a
saved her
flashback to
life.
that,
She almost dehydrated on stage.
Literally died.
No more of that podcast.
That would. I was gonna make a joke, but I don't know.
What, that would be number one after that?
That's
We're the only ones in our way.
You're so funny.
Thank you.
But oh yeah, we're doing our check-in. Yeah, so that was a really great part of my week. And I wanted to talk about, I got an opportunity at work, which I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah.
It is going to require a temporary shift change, which I'm excited but sad because like
miss you.
I'm not going to be able to see you.
Yeah.
Except on the weekends.
But I'm very happy for you anyway.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's it for my weekly check-in. What about you?
Okay. I don't really know where to begin. As you know, I'm going to therapy, and it's been good for me. I feel like I already feel like the positive effects of therapy or whatever. Also, probably everyone in my life, since I'm not now using them as a therapist. But I don't know. I feel like I have so many more questions now. I'm at this point right now. Like, if you're asking me right now how I am, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like I have just so many questions. And I feel like I don't really know what they are, but I just know I have a ton of questions. So that's like kind of my mindset right now. And so for that reason, I feel like my week has been just almost slow. Like, it's just because I feel like every day I'm pondering. I don't know if that's it, but I just feel like, I don't know.
Like, what kind of questions? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, I don't really know how to put them into words, I guess. It's like one of those, like, existential things.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
What are we here for? But not necessarily that, you know?
Okay.
And that's not, like, a bad thing. I think it can be a good thing to question things, you know? I
Yeah,
feel like that's
of course. You should
how
question
people grow.
everything.
Absolutely. So it's not a bad thing. I just think it makes my days just last a little bit longer.
Okay.
Therefore, my week does. But that's, it is what it is. I'm trying to find more time to appreciate, like we were talking about last episode,
Yes.
and really like take in what I have and be grateful for that, I've also been just like investing in like little things that make me happy.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I got like a little magnet set for my fridge because I love magnets.
Yes, they're great.
And I got like these Sanrio ones. So I have
Yes.
like Hello Kitty and Badtz-Maru and
Nice.
Chromie, Cinnamoroll, all the cuties.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've just been chilling. I think I've been just trying to take it all in, take the world in. So that's just how my week's been going.
Good.
And then sad because you weren't there at work.
Oh.
Yeah, and probably
I
sad
bet
in
it
the
was
future.
miserable without me.
Yeah, it was. It's always sad without you.
I know, that's why I'm like, I'm gonna just try to survive. Maybe I'll just like keep a picture of you on me to look in my pocket.
We could
whenever I'm
trade
feeling
badges.
Down. Oh my
We'll
God.
trade badges so we
Trade
can
badges,
look
yeah.
at each other.
Then you'd be like, why are you clocking in the day shift? You're like, just flip our pay, please.
It's all accurate. Just we want to look at each other. Yeah. But yeah, that's how my week's been going. You went to go see a movie we were supposed to both go see.
Yeah, dude.
And I did not.
Yeah. Well, you
So-
could have gone. I was down to see it twice.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yeah. So like, I ended up seeing Imaginary with my brother and sister on accident because when they had asked me if I wanted to take my other brother's seat, and they said they were taking my little sister, I was
Mhm.
like, oh, no way that she would want to see
A scary
the
movie.
scary movie. And my brother also thought it was not the scary movie.
But okay,
So,
can I
like,
just say something?
Yes.
Because I was confused. Okay, so for reference, she was texting me before this telling me, hey, I'm going to go watch a movie with my siblings. I was like, oh, that sounds lit. She told me it was Imaginary Friends. And
Yes.
I thought she left out with friends. So I thought she was saying she's going to go watch Imaginary with friends. So we had this like little back and forth
Yeah.
about it, but
Dude, no, I thought it was hilarious when we both texted back, I'm confused at the
Yes,
same time.
Exactly. And I was confused. And then I
was
looked on Cinemark and I did not see a movie called Imaginary Friends. So I was even more confused because then you went, but then we figured out
Yeah.
why.
That it's if. And that's why, like, when, because I assume my sister said imaginary friends, and that's
Yeah.
why. So I was like, okay, whatever. But then we get to the theater and I meet my brother and my sister there and we're walking up and like get the popcorn, walk all the way up to the door. And I was like, oh, are we at the wrong one? And then my brother's like, oh no, she wanted to see the scary one. And I was like, dude, I thought we were seeing the kids
my
one. And he said,
God.
me too. And yeah, so I ended up seeing it. It was good.
Did she
but-
like it?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but because I thought I was gonna watch it again with you, I was like more willing to take bathroom breaks or go do refills or go do whatever. And I was
I'm
just
sorry.
like, I was like, I'm gonna see it in a few hours anyway, so I don't have to pay that much attention.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was good. I liked it. It was interesting. I feel like,
Yeah, without spoiling,
Yeah,
can you
it
tell
was-
us like your maybe some pivotal points for you or points you enjoyed?
well, I feel like overall the story was really interesting. One of the plot twists did get me. I'll have to tell you another plot twist that is really like made me tear up.
Okay.
I was gonna give it away, but
No spoilers
no
here.
spoilers. It was PG-13, and I also love scary movies, so like none of it really scared me anyways, and I don't really get scared from pop-ups and stuff often.
What is the premise?
So it's about this girl who moves into her childhood home, and then she moves in with her, I don't know if they're married, but it's her new partner, and then he has 2 kids.
Oh.
2 girls, and then she's the stepmom. And then basically her stepdaughter starts playing with the little bear that she finds.
Oh, nice.
And it's her imaginary friend.
Right.
And yeah.
Imaginary.
Yes. And yeah, it just kind of gets a little spooky, has her do some not PG things. So like, yeah, it kind of goes into the mom getting worried because she's like, whoa, what's going on? Does
Yeah.
some further investigating, and then, gets
Yeah.
into it and it gets a little crazy. It was really good though. My brother actually said it was like, what was the word he said? I can't remember. Like a more advanced. What's the fucking books called? The Goosebumps.
Oh,
Goosebumps.
Okay.
Like one of the Goosebumps movies,
Sure.
but like more intense.
Okay,
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
scary movies to tell in the dark.
Well, like, yeah, because like my little, I feel
stories.
like I don't know if I saw that or not, or part of it, but it was definitely like more scary. So like, I asked my little sister if she got scared. She said not really, but she did jump scare a few times.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but yeah, so it was good though. Don't go see it if you're like into super, super scary movies because it's not that.
Okay.
But it is a bit gory.
It's
so.
PG-13,
Yeah.
so don't go in there expecting it's like
A
this
slasher
rated R.
horror film.
Yeah, it's gonna be so intense.
Also, do you like The Strangers?
I do like The Strangers. The first one was
there
really
was
good.
a preview for like the original How We Became Strangers. Like that's
like a prequel.
Yeah, it's like the first like how they became them.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I'm
good.
interested.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yeah, we
'cause
should go see it.
I like Strangers. I like the first one. I think the second one is the one where it's like a different. I don't know. It's following a family mostly. Like, well, I guess they're like running around or whatever.
Too much. Yes,
I remember
okay.
it having a good soundtrack.
Yes, okay.
But I don't remember thinking the movie was that great.
Yeah.
Like at least compared to the first one. But I always have high hopes for movies, so it is what it is. But that's so funny that you talk about the imaginary because have you ever seen Drop Dead Fred?
No.
So that's a movie also about an imaginary friend, but it's a little bit different because it's like, I don't want to get it wrong, but I think it was made in the 80s. Maybe the early 90s. I could be wrong. But it's like this girl she has like a imaginary friend named Fred, and she calls him she always tells him Drop Dead Fred because he's always like doing goofy stuff and being silly and stuff. And then she gets older and she like, I don't know, like she like gets all this stressful shit in her life, like gets broken up with and is like losing her job or something. And he comes back and she's like, oh no, I don't need this. And it's just like this cute, funny movie, totally opposite of this like scary movie you're talking about.
Nice. No, I've never heard of it. Is it old?
Yeah, I mean it's older. It's like I think it's in the 80s or 90s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cute.
Nice. Also I just wanted to go into like a little bit of gratefulness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just I'm really grateful. I'm like spotlight of the week is my friend that took me out to SF. She's super amazing and I love her so much and she's just always there for me and she's just like a little safe haven.
I love that. Yeah.
And I love her so much. And it's actually her birthday today. It's March 10th. So happy birthday. Yeah, I love her so much and I'm really grateful for her. She really makes life a lot better.
Aww.
Yeah, so spotlight. And then also I'll pass it over to you in a second, but I just want to say that we're grateful for whoever tunes in.
Yeah, and shares our podcast with your friends, with your family too. Yeah, that's really nice.
Really exciting. We actually have like international listeners, like,
which is people super awesome
from other countries that like listen to what we're saying, and we really appreciate you for checking us out.
Yeah, it's really nice. Also, we appreciate all the feedback we've been getting from everybody. Good and not necessarily bad, but just like critiques or whatever. We're taking them into account and we do appreciate it. We appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, and then I was also going to mention we do have someone who did write back something they wanted to hear on the podcast, which was awesome. But also, if you are going to write something back, maybe leave like your email or a way to contact you so I can like get more questions because this person I needed some more info and I'm waiting for them to write back, so I do have their info to reach back. Okay, but awesome. You know, just in case we have questions or whatever.
And I did get asked that too the other day. Actually, I got asked, somebody was like, do you think you guys are gonna be taking submissions? And I was like, we already are. Go ahead and do it.
Follow the link. Yeah, I put it in the show notes and also on our link tree. It's like a little blurb and it's like podcast submissions. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Jess.
Yeah. So what are you grateful for?
So much. As always, you. I'm grateful for your friend that also took you because he got out of my hair. I'm just kidding. No, but any friend of yours is a friend of mine, and I think that I appreciate the people who treat people in my life good just as much as I appreciate them, you know?
Yes.
my family, food on the table, clothes on my back, the tip. I'm actually like recently super grateful for music. I always am.
Yes.
But recently just super hyper aware. Yeah, like just like music is really it really pushes so much, and it's so important in everything, and not just my life, but I feel like in everyone's life it dictates so much. It can do so much. It's so powerful, you know, and that's really cool. So music, and I want to say In-N-Out because I want to go get In-N-Out now that you were talking about that burger and stuff.
Yeah, In-N-Out.
So convenient food. Convenient
food. Grateful for at the podcast they had a bathroom attendant.
Oh, what?
And she was so lit.
They had like perfume and stuff, or what?
Perfume, mouthwash, toothbrushes, toothpicks, and she was the biggest vibe.
Dream.
Her name was Tasha, and she was an older,
shout out Tasha.
Lady. And like this was her catchphrase of the night, and everyone kept repeating it. She said, "If you tinkle when you sprinkle, be a sweetie and wipe the seedy." And she just kept doing that, and she kept everything like flowing. And she's like, "Don't forget any of your things."
That's nice.
They had like Venmo tips, cash tips.
What?
And it was great. And then at the end of the night after the show, she's like, "This is crazy," because usually that place we went to was Bimbo's.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first time ever being there. I assume it's usually a nightclub. She's like, "It's crazy. There's no concert. There's no show tonight." And like everyone right before was in line for the bathroom. And then at the end, she's like, "What are you guys all doing?" And we're like, "We have to pee before we go home." And she's like, "That makes so much sense."
That's so funny.
And then this one girl, she's like, "Hey, get it. And then she's like, starts twerking. And then they were twerking in the bathroom.
What?
And then she's vibed out. And we were all dancing.
Crazy.
And then she kept singing. And then she was like, "Oh," and she's like, "You know what, E40?" So, and she's like, "Oh, wait, you guys are too young." I was like, "No, we love E40. And then I was like, "Too short's really my dude." And then she got lit. And then we started singing Blow the Whistle. And then I went to the bathroom. And I washed my hands. And then I played it. And then we all just started dancing. It was great. We're like, "What's my favorite word? Bitch!" And yeah, it was like, I'll show you a picture because my friend got one.
Oh, awesome.
Us in the mirror, we're like, ugh.
What's her name? Tasha?
Tasha.
Yeah, definitely shout out Tasha.
I was like, Tasha needs to get paid more. But yeah, also grateful for Tasha.
I hope all those people tip then. She's putting on a party up in there. Good. Good for her. And her bank account better be overflowing.
Yes, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you had some corrections, right?
I did. So over the last couple episodes, I might have said some things. I might have said they were facts. Even. But as it turns out, not all of them were facts. So I have a couple corrections. Thank you. I have Usher bucks is one of the ones I definitely wanted to talk about.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't know what they were.
Yes, and I explained to you that Usher possibly have thrown these Usher dollars, like money that looks real, but it has his face on it, at this stripper, and it was not exchangeable for real money.
Yes.
Well, that is technically true, but not okay. So what I'm correcting is Usher did go to this strip club. It's in Vegas. At the time, it was about 2021. About 2020 to 2021. He's doing a residency in Las Vegas, okay? I guess these Usher bucks were part of their promotion.
Oh, okay.
He came into the strip club with his entourage. According to multiple sources, there's one source that says he was the one who was also passing out these, like, throwing these monies, and people thought it was real. And they only became an issue when the strippers went to go exchange their money for the money that, you know, the dirty money for, like, you know, counted money or whatever it is. I don't know how it works. But anyway, it wasn't working. They couldn't exchange it. It's not real. Other sources say he actually tipped amazingly well, real money, to everybody serving, staff. He got VIP, bottle service. He was throwing real bands at girls. And that somebody in his entourage left the fake money as a way to promote his residency. So that is most likely what happened. I also wanted to talk about Bruce Lee and his death, because I believe in episode, was it the second episode?
Yes.
We were talking about the crow, and then I talked about Brendan Lee, 'cause he's the best crow, and also his father, who is Bruce Lee, and his death, and I thought they died in the same way. But I was mistaken. Bruce Lee's death was actually due to, some people believe, drinking water, too much water. His body couldn't handle it. Some say it was because his brain swelled because of a allergic reaction to a headache medication.
Okay.
But he died in Hong Kong on July 20th, 1973, to pay respects. Rest in peace. And then also we were talking about, I think, episode 1, we were talking about TikTok trends and weird things that kids are into.
Yes.
And I brought up that one song, Sticking Out Your Gap, for the Rizzler.
Yes.
Okay, so I found out that is just a bunch of Gen Z terms put on to a song that already exists, which I did not know.
I did not know that either.
Yeah, so like the original lyric is sticking out your tongue for the picture.
Oh.
Okay, that's what she says.
I
oh, you know the song.
Line. I think like on a TikTok.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a
it,
TikTok song or something. So it was like sticking out your tongue for the picture or whatever. Yeah. You're so cool or something like that. And then they changed it to sticking out your gap for the Rizzler. But it's just all just terms, like Gen Z terms that like make no sense put together. But they're just putting them together.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it any less of a weird song, but I just wanted to clear that up to say that I don't think they're genuinely trying to be like, oh, you're sticking out your ass for the Rizzler.
Yeah.
I think it was just by chance.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are my corrections. If I have any more corrections, I think we'll continue to do this throughout the podcast as well.
Yes, okay. Also, I was going to mention, I'm not sure if you've heard the news, but I heard it on Rise and Crime.
Oh.
It's a podcast that covers weekly events that are happening and gives you updates on cases and stuff. And she brought up Robert Pickton, which I'm pretty sure you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Canadian serial killer known as the Pig Farm Killer.
Right.
And he's currently 74. And he's eligible for parole as of the 22nd of February this year.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, so...
You're saying that he had his chance, then?
So it says, as far as I read, there's no sentence has been set up, so he's still waiting for trial.
His trial, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, they might parole him, and, like, in case you guys don't know who that is, like... He's this guy who was arrested in 2002, and in 2007, he was charged with second-degree murder on 6 women. And then after a lengthy investigation, they added an additional 20 women to that. And with his victims, he would feed them to the pigs, which is like,
wow, he got his name?
Yes, yeah. Exactly. So just like, I don't know, how do you feel about him being able to parole, even though he did this heinous crime, but also like, he is older now, so...
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like it's so hard to be like, I'm no judge, juror, and executioner by any means.
Same.
But he did such horrible things and then fed them to pigs. Yes. Like, the poor pigs, too, because, like, they don't know they're eating. I mean,
they're just hungry, dude.
Yeah, they're just hungry. And, like, now you're making them eat people. That's so sad. And, like, rest in peace to the victims and their families.
Of course, yes.
I guess, like, if they do choose to parole him, which I guess I hope they don't, because, like, at what point, like, how is he gonna function in society? He's 70-something years old. All he knows is how to be a serial killer and be in prison.
Yeah.
But at least if he's old, he hopefully can't do much, you know? Yeah. And hopefully they don't allow him to have pigs.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, but... I'll let you know as soon as I know or hear anything on that matter.
That's crazy. But, you know, I was just hearing, because speaking of, like, this true crime, getting into this, I was listening to, or I was told a story by my brother about something horrible that happened in our town.
Okay.
It has to do with 2 teenagers. And she just got sentenced. She got 50 years.
50 years?
50. She's a teenager, okay?
That's crazy. What did she do?
She stabbed... Okay, so these 2 girls had issues with each other.
Okay.
They decided they were going to fight. The girl who got sentenced to 50 years...
Yeah.
She was not the one who called the other one out. So, originally, this girl went on... I think it was Instagram.
Okay.
messaged the perpetrator and told them they wanted to fight, meet me here. So the
Okay.
perpetrator went there, but they went there with a knife.
Okay.
So this other girl was thinking they were going to fight.
Yeah.
Apparently witnesses say she pulled out the knife almost immediately and started stabbing.
Oh my gosh.
She stabbed the girl in her lung and her neck. Like, she
That's
got her. Do you know how hard it is to stab somebody? But let alone pierce their lung. Like, you gotta get through
that's
stuff.
crazy.
You gotta get through body, tissue, muscles. Like, it's crazy. It's really hard.
Yeah.
And, like, she did it. So she got tried as an adult. She got 50 years because the girl died.
That's insane.
Yeah, and that literally happened, like, I think a year ago. And she was 14 when it happened. She's 15 now.
Okay.
She might be literally 60-something years old when she gets out. But she has a chance of probation after 20 years.
Okay.
So maybe she'll only be 30-something.
Okay. Well,
But that's still crazy.
that's insane.
And that's what makes me think of, like, what kind of life do you live afterwards? I wonder if it's, like, hard? Do you learn your lesson from that? Like,
Yeah.
how does that work, you know?
Well, I was going to say from, like, not my personal experience, but I have met some people who their people have been in jail or prison forever. And then, like, they're in there for so long and they come out and it's like, you know, a huge, like, system shock. Like, there's
Yes.
cell phones, there's the internet.
Oh, yeah,
there's,
especially
like,
if you go in before
like,
a change in the whole...
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, imagine, like, from day to day, so many things happen. Imagine, like, coming out after
Yeah.
such a long time. Like, what a mind
Must be so
fuck.
shocking. Yeah. Just a shock to everything. That's why I think, well, that's why they say it's, like, not really a system built to, like, change. It's
Yeah.
more of a system to send you back, because if they're not teaching you for how to be on the outside when you are supposed to be on the outside, then you're not prepared, and that shock can send you right back. Because
Yeah.
it's comfortable, it's safe, even if it's not really, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. It just, I think, like, hearing that story, this true thing that happened to real people in our town, is one of those things where it just really made me think about, like, how we were talking about communication last time.
Yeah.
Maybe, and I can't say, you know, there's so many ifs in the world, but
Yes,
maybe
of
if
course.
these young girls had been more, like, guided to talk about what was happening to them, what was wrong, what was actually the matter.
Yeah, like, what's our issue? What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah, and maybe even if they couldn't come to a resolution, they were told it's okay to just walk away. It's okay to just not like somebody and still be just
Yeah,
distance.
civil, just be
just
civil.
stay. You know, it
Yeah.
is. Then maybe, like, something like that could have been avoided, but just something tells me there was. I mean, maybe the girls never reached out either. You know.
Yeah.
But it makes me think about also how we were talking about how the younger generation and communication, especially during COVID, was, like, cut off, and, like,
Yeah.
they didn't really get those socializing keys and stuff like that. And I hate to sound like a boomer, if you will, but, like, this generation and the next generation, and I just worry about, like, are we giving I think we should be teaching our kids in school more emotional regulation
Yes.
and more communicating skills and tips
Yeah.
and stuff like that, because I think I didn't really get a lot of that growing up, but
Yeah.
I don't think they're getting anything.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that's why I recommended Esther Perel and Brene Brown's podcast last time, because they give you the tools to do, like, effective communication, and it's just, like, really nice to get another resource for that when you can't afford to go to counseling or therapy or something.
Yeah.
Just, like, another outlook and another place to find the tools to help you communicate better.
Yeah, that's speaking of that, two things that made me think of. I don't think people also are comfortable with being okay with other people's perspective, even if it doesn't fit them. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that causes a lot of issues with people. But secondarily, Esther Perel.
Yes.
You brought her up last time. She's great, and she has done TED Talks and stuff like that.
Yes, she's amazing.
I was just told by somebody who listened to our podcast that was a great recommendation. They wish they could thank her personally because
Me too.
yeah, because in a time in their life where they were seeking therapy, their therapist recommended her TED Talk and a book of hers, and they said it helped them so much. Like, it was
Yes.
so much so. shout out again. She's great, and listen to the podcast. And
Thanks
stuff
for
like
listening. You're great, I hear.
that. Awesome.
I was going to talk about how I had seen this video on TikTok, which I wanted to mention last week, but I totally spaced it. It's about a doctor. I'm not sure if he's specifically a back doctor.
Uh-huh.
But so what he's doing is he's showing a bunch of x-rays on people born from 1992 forward, and that's just like because that's what he had there. I don't know if there's anything else behind that. But it was showing how, like, you know how in your cervical spine or your whole spine in general has like a natural S curve anyways?
Yes.
So the cervical spine, instead of being a little S curled bone, it's a straight bone, which is bad.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be. And like he's saying that basically like it's from people looking down at their phone to text and looking down at videos. And like literally when you look at the x-rays, it's like a straight stick and it's not supposed to be. And he's like, yeah, guys, we need to correct our posture. If not, everyone's going to be
You got me
hunchback.
sitting up straight now.
And it's true. I'm like, oh yeah. And I've always been like one for good posture and like, you know.
I've not been, for sure.
Well, I will try to remind you if I see
I'm
you.
horrible. I got a back brace once.
Okay.
Didn't help.
Didn't
but
help?
I don't know if it was the wrong size. People say like too tight or too big. It
Yeah.
doesn't work. I don't really know. Maybe it was too small. I'm not sure. But I am scared of being like fucking up my own neck just by looking down all the time. Like my back already hurts.
I was going to say I had seen a poster at work with some facts on it, and it was basically talking about text neck.
Oh.
And basically text neck is a repetitive stress injury to the neck caused by having your head in a forward position for an extended period of time, aka looking at your phone, texting on your phone, whatever, like looking down. And so the human head weighs about 12 pounds, which is 12 pounds, just in case you didn't know that.
Heavy.
And depending on the angle of your head, the weight increases.
Yeah. Yes, that makes sense.
So when your head is at a 15-degree angle, it weighs about 27 pounds. At a 30-degree angle, it's 40 pounds.
Damn.
At 45 degrees, it's 49 pounds. And at a 60-degree angle, it's 60 pounds.
degrees. Like this?
Yes.
This is 60? Or is this what is the degree from the back of the neck or the
I'm assuming
front?
I didn't like look it up, but I'm assuming this would be regular and then a slight tilt, and then like basically when you're looking down at your phone, if it's like more than
that feels like 90. I don't even know. That's nuts.
I don't know, but and like some of the symptoms are of course neck pain, stiffness and tightness in the neck and shoulders, leading to decreased range of motion.
I feel like super self-conscious now about my neck positions and my back, just because like, well, I even read looking down. Like I don't like hold my book like in front of my face.
Yeah, was it like super held
It's
down?
like on my lap, like
Okay.
my phone would be.
But how
I
far
guess.
is your head tilted? Are you like cranked all the way down?
Dude,
Or-
I'd be doing some weird positions.
Okay,
I'd be
yeah.
like all over the place sometimes.
Dude, yeah, I see some people sitting and I'm like, dude, how is your back like
And then
able to do that?
I feel like
'Cause
I
it's
don't
so
even
crazy.
realize until I realize. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I am in a weird
Well,
ass
that's
position.
like another thing too, like that I've gotten used to. Like sometimes when I go pee and I'm on my TikTok for a little bit, I like do look
Put it
down.
all the way down, yeah.
And then I was like, oh no, so now I'm like, because I've been being more mindful anyways, I like make sure I prop it up like on the sink so I look straight.
yeah.
I was thinking,
I bet that's hella common for people.
I was gonna say copyrighted this idea, guys. Please don't steal it.
It's Jessica's
But-
idea.
No, which like I'm pretty sure there's already something similar, but like something like basically just to prop your phone up or your book or whatever you're reading, because people do stuff in the bathroom
I think
anyways.
they do have something that goes like around your neck and then it sticks kind of like it's solid. It's like plastic and it holds.
Okay, I just smell like something that you could leave there, and then you could wash your hands and do stuff. Maybe keep it in an
But then you would
encased
still
thing.
have to pick it up and still
I know after
touch it
you
and
like
do
did it. I mean, just put like auto scroll on TikTok, you know, or
Yeah, but I'm saying if you had to go somewhere, you'd have to pick it up and move it.
oh yeah, well I meant only for the bathroom.
Oh, okay, I see.
But I guess no, yeah, I guess ideally you don't.
I'm
want one
thinking
for
like all the
everywhere.
time, like
No,
how
yeah,
can I
okay,
not use
that
my
could be,
hands?
like, another one. It'll be like the second release.
yeah. This is 2.0.
Yes. Okay, sorry.
That's hilarious. No, I think a lot of people could probably relate to that. And they probably also wish they could do something to keep it a little bit more simple, not hurt their necks on the toilet. Especially some people who just be in the toilet for so long. And I'm not talking about anybody specific, but I just think there's some people who need to get off their phones and get out of the bathroom.
No, like, and like sometimes if I'm like into like a crazy deep dive on something,
Sure.
whether it's like whatever, then it's like, holy crap, I've been in here for so long and I'm just like looking at this.
Which is
just,
how people develop hemorrhoids.
Dude, I've heard that.
And I've never had it myself, and I
Me
pray I never
neither.
do. But
Fingers crossed.
But then you look at some of the people that get hemorrhoids, and you're like, do you sit on the toilet a long time? And I bet you some of them do, like, because you do get them that way, and from pushing and whatever else, like straining. So definitely eat your fiber, drink a lot of water, but definitely don't sit on toilets longer than you need to. Also,
Yeah.
it's just a weird place to be. Why do you want to just sit there on your toilet? I get being sucked into something, but I'll never get wanting to sit in the bathroom.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know, for some people that's their safe space.
I guess.
I'm assuming.
I guess what I can never get over, and sorry to go off on a totally different tangent,
No,
I
go
guess,
ahead.
is
Go
poop
off.
particles. I'll
Oh my
never
God.
get past poop particles. I am so afraid of like poop particles flying in my mouth somehow or something, because I swear, like, just I have to close the seat every
You
time
like
I
happen
flush.
to like before
Even if it's
you
not.
you go to flush and the seat gets stuck and you like happen to sneeze.
Yeah.
And it's like
Then I just like spray alcohol in my mouth and
Oh
like
my God.
just kidding, don't do that. No. But no, I do. I'm just definitely, I don't know, I'm afraid of that stuff. I'm just grossed out by the idea. And it's just in my mind, for some reason, the particles are huge. They're like giant particles of poop, and they're just coming at me. So I can't be in a bathroom too long.
Okay.
But to each their own.
To each their own. No, for real. I was gonna say, to go back about what you were mentioning earlier about like the communication for like people, like children to learn and stuff. I feel like I personally, which I don't know like what kind of facets I would have to have on my belt to be able to do it, but would be to like integrate some programs for children to have like better communication,
Mhm.
whether if that's like bringing other teachers to come in and show them tools, or like, I don't know, just something to kind of get the help that they need, like externally, like
Something else extra.
you know. And like here in town specifically, there is like the children's cabinet, and they offer free classes to parents and kids
Mhm.
for like getting better tools and like communicating, but like I know it's not always accessible to everyone based
I
on
was gonna
times and
say,
stuff, so like it'd be cool to like implement something that is more accessible to everyone, and like kind of remove the shame around like asking for help in general, which is something that I really struggle with. It's hard for me to
Mhm.
ask for help. I'm like too prideful, and like a lot of the times I'm drowning and I'm like, gosh, I should just ask for help, and it's so hard to like ask anyone for anything, just because I've grown up doing a lot of stuff for my own and like being in charge and like just having to do a lot anyways. And I'm like, I can do it by myself. I'll just figure it out. Because like,
you
what
always
else
had
are you gonna
to.
do?
Yes, I feel that so much. Like when you're pushed to just, you have to figure it out. There's no other choice. I feel like you just make your whole life that way. So eventually, it just and that is, and I feel like. Obviously, I feel like you should know. You can always come to me.
Yeah.
You can always come to your friends. I'm sure they all told you. And it's still so hard to ask anyway. So I get that. I do. I think
being
there should
vulnerable, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like I relate to that. I think even in school, like, I couldn't really ask for help with, like, things. Like, I was pretty much rocking at everything except for math, though. But I still could never.
We went to school at the same time.
I know,
I was
we could help
rocking
each
at
other.
math.
But I could not raise my hand and be like, I don't know. Because it just felt embarrassing to, like, all these other people get it. Why don't I get it? I guess.
Yeah, I get that. And I was the opposite. I feel like I feel like as I reflect on it now, I have been one to, like, be kind of like, if no one's asking and I know that they like need help but they're like embarrassed, if I can't help, I'll ask for them, just because, like, you know, sometimes like it's embarrassing or hard to do it, and like
And we appreciate people like
I'm
you.
like, sometimes you just need to advocate for the people in
Yeah.
whatever little way you can, because like at the end of the day, it might make a huge difference.
And that's why I think that communication and emotional maturity, or like emotional learning, should be in school.
Yeah,
I think it should be part of curriculum.
Maybe we should make a private school with all the shit you need.
They should, because like they want to argue like we don't have room for another class, or we don't have a teacher. We don't need another teacher. Teach that emotional regulation to the teachers and have them use it in the classrooms, because some of these teachers also don't even got that. They didn't even learn that, and they need to, because like if you can't learn it at home, that is the other place that kids spend most of their time.
Yeah.
That is like their job, you know? Like, just like us, we want a healthy work environment. Kids deserve something like that too. Exactly. And they deserve a place where they can express themselves and not be judgely harsh, or like feel little or anything like that, and also have the tools to be able to express themselves in better ways if they're not expressing themselves in the right way.
Yeah.
According to society.
Yeah, I love that. And I was going to say that's probably why I feel like I like the direction a lot of new movies and shows are going, because I feel like it is a lot of our generation, and we have a lot of more emotional intelligence. But like a recurring theme that I recently saw in like a few movies and shows was about women talking about, like, not necessarily were they aware or they come to find out later that they're doing it, but like about shrinking themselves to make space for men, women, other people, their bosses, just like, and I'm like, whoa. And I was like reflecting, I was like, damn, we gotta stop shrinking. Like, we need to take up space.
Yes, that's why I always tell girls, because it is more likely than not, if you hear somebody saying sorry for something they shouldn't even be sorry for, it is most of the time a woman. And it's just because of that, not trying to take up space, not trying to step on any toes. I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be like that girl. I don't want anyone to feel any type of way about me. So definitely, I always tell my friends, and they should tell their friends and other women that they know, like, never say sorry unless you did something wrong. And you truly mean it. You should never say sorry, because you're using the word so much that it loses its meaning. Then what is sorry to you? You know what I mean? Have that boundary for yourself, for sure, because it does do something mentally to you to say sorry when you have nothing to be sorry about, you know? Definitely. Take up space. Absolutely. Speaking of animated movies, or just movies in general, and the things that they, like, stories and lessons that we learn. I was watching Kung Fu Panda 4.
Nice. How did you like it?
I thought it was alright. But I don't think, like, it was bad at all. But I don't think it was, like, superb. Definitely, obviously, Kung Fu Panda 1 is, like, the top-notch
and
panda
it's hard
movie.
to follow up such a good movie.
Always. And all the voice acting. And I think you've seen the movie, right?
Yeah, I think I've seen 1 and 2 for sure. I can't remember if I saw 3 or not.
With the pandas, where his pandas a family. He meets his dad.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I
anyways.
have to see a recap.
Yeah. So anyways, in this 4th one, it's him. It's his father's. He's still the Dragon Warrior. He's told to, like, find a hare, or like somebody who's gonna follow him up in the dragon thing, like being the whatever it's called.
An heir?
An heir. Like I said, he's looking for one of those, but he's also not, because like in his mind, he is the Dragon Warrior, and that's just what he knows. So he can't even fathom not being the Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, he's like, what the heck?
It's his first identity, really, other than his name. So like, anyway, there's like this imminent threat, yada yada yada. He meets this like little fennec fox thing, and she like leads him to help him get to where he needs to go, or whatever. It's played by Awkwafina. I don't know how people feel about her. I won't go into it too deep, but she's in it, and she plays a fennec fox. I don't think her voice acting was terrible, but I also don't think she's a voice actor by her default. Like, that's not her first thing. So I get, like, her not being amazing at it. None of the other voice actors came back like the other fighters, like Monkey, Crane, Snake. None of them are back. So Seth Rogen's not in it, and that's a bummer. But there's a lesson that is not the main part of the lesson, but it's about forgiveness. Since I feel like the main lesson is, like, obviously accepting who you are and doing things regardless of how uncomfortable they might feel sometimes, because they're necessary. But there's this, like, incident where, like, one of the characters and another character have a falling out, and it's like kind of violent in a way, and they run into each other later on in the movie, and the person who is the victim in the case, like would be considered the victim, wasn't like angry at them.
Okay.
They just kept walking. They like walked past them, and the other person was like, I don't understand, like I'm trying to like, you know, either be different or settle this, or like, let's come on, you know, like and the other person was like, the victim was like, no, it's okay, like we don't have to, we could just go our separate ways, I guess, you know. And I don't know, something about that scene. Definitely watch the movie because it's kind of hard to say without spoiling it. I just don't want to say anything because it's in theaters. Maybe we'll talk about it at another time. But like, when I watched that scene, I just was like, huh, like this theme recently has been occurring in like my mind when I hear things, when I read things about forgiveness. I just feel like more forgiveness is needed in the earth. More forgiveness is needed to be shown, and I really appreciated watching that. Regardless of how good or bad Kung Fu Panda was, whether it was a cash grab or not, I still think it showed kids a really good lesson multiple times about like, you aren't who you're never just like stuck at who you are. You can always be a better person. Yeah. You, like Po says, it can happen at any time. You don't have to wait for it. It can happen now. It can happen right now. Just be a better person. Yeah. And I think that's a really good lesson.
Yes, I agree. I was gonna say regarding like that that one book, I can't remember which one it was that you just read, that like talks about how like people are just literally trying their best, and like,
yeah, It's On You, I think, by Sarah Kubrick, which is like a millennial therapist on Instagram is her name, but she's a existential psychotherapist, I believe. But she's been on podcasts, so check her out and read her book. It's on You. That's what it's called. But yes, you were saying.
Yeah, and I just thought about that, like how you told me, like, you know, literally everyone's just living their own existence and trying to figure it out and trying to get through the world. So you should just have a little bit more compassion and forgiveness because everyone's just trying to do their best anyway.
Yes, always that. That's what I was saying also earlier about viewpoints. Sometimes our viewpoints don't align, but that doesn't make either of us a bad person.
Exactly.
We just don't. We don't have to click, and that's okay. That's okay. I wanted to bring up because there's been a couple awards ceremonies that have happened. Today was a award ceremony. I think it's called the Oscars. Maybe I'm wrong. It's the movie one. Whatever the movie one is called. I watched that one. But some of our listeners might be a little bit more excited to hear about the anime awards that happened recently. Okay. Megan Thee Stallion, the rapper, if some of you don't know, I like her. I think she's good. I think she's fun. She was invited to be an award announcer. She announced, she got to announce the award for Best Anime of the Year. Yeah. Which went to Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, which, if you like that one, that's awesome. Woo! But she dressed up as Bucciarati from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, you know I love... I'm wearing a JoJo shirt right now. Yes, I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's my favorite anime of all time. She also dressed up as Jolene. So after she came to Japan, I guess she spent a couple days after or something like that. She just posted, I think today, her Jolene outfit. And her hair is done up like Jolene. And she looks so good, Jess. Let me tell you, she looks amazing. And I think she's doing like big things for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Not that it, like, because it's a great anime. And it's a great manga. Shout out Araki. But, I think that it's not as big here in America as it is in Japan. Yeah. And I love seeing somebody who is in, like, media's eye showing her nerdiness like that and being very proud of it and being like, here it is. And I think that that's going to do a lot for JoJo's, and hopefully we get more merch in America.
Nice. Yeah, you know what I mean? Sick.
And, talking about awards and stuff, I guess I just kind of wanted to gloss over some of the awards that were won, if that's okay. Go ahead. So at the Oscars. They had Oppenheimer won Best Picture, so Best Movie of the Year.
Okay, haven't seen it yet. No,
I haven't seen it either. I don't think I will, but I believe
neither,
you guys. I guess. Emma Stone won Best Actress for Poor Things. I also haven't seen that one.
I heard it's really good.
I heard it was interesting.
Okay.
I guess I had no idea what it was about until today.
I didn't even know what it's about.
She has a baby brain.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
So
it's a little bit more complicated than that, but I want to save it for you so you can watch it. But it's just a very interesting movie. But that's the summary. She has like a baby's brain. Billie Eilish and her brother got Best Original Song for What Was I Made For? That was for Barbie.
Yes, snaps.
Such a good song. I that scene really hit. Like when that song is playing, tears were flowing, the pictures are going. It was so good. So I did not have any issue. That was a great song choice. Okay. And I also wanted to say that Boy and the Heron, which we saw together, won Best Animated Film.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. Woo! They weren't there to accept they weren't there to accept the award, but it was accepted on their behalf.
Awesome.
Still a great victory. Awesome. Also at the Oscars, they had a really beautiful moment where they had like a memorial kind of thing where it was like a live singing and an orchestra, and it was showing photos and dates of past away like actors and directors and writers and stuff. It was really, really nice.
That's awesome. And I'm pretty sure you've seen, sadly, the creator of Dragon Ball Z, Akira Toriyama, passed away.
Yes. He was a manga artist, right?
Yes.
It's incredibly sad. He definitely inspired so many people.
Yeah.
So many people. I mean, even other manga artists who went on to make other mangas we love.
Of, like, posts like, because of you, I am who I am.
Oh my god, those made me tear up. They're so sweet. And like seeing like that's really unique, like for a death to unite people so much. Like that's a lot. That you did a lot, you know, and that's in itself, you being remembered, that's a good thing to be proud of. I feel like in your lifetime. That's what everybody kind of hopes for, that you'll be remembered.
For something
You'll
great.
be remembered, yeah. Definitely. That reminds me a little, like it's in the realm of animation, but not anime. The creator of the Backyardigans, Janice Burgess, I think that's how you say her name, she passed away. And I was incredibly heartbroken about that because the Backyardigans was huge in my childhood. Yeah. I don't know if you watched it a lot.
It wasn't specifically big for me, but I did see it a lot because it was big in my siblings' childhood.
And I think I don't know how many shows. I don't have kids. You don't have kids. No. We have siblings, but I don't watch a lot of these kids shows with them. I don't know how many shows have like music and stuff in them really these days. But the Backyardigans music, along with their creativity,
so good,
so good, and so inspiring as a kid. Like low key, like, and the beats went hard. The beats went so hard, and you know what I mean. It's just like, who knows? Like without that show, if I would have pretended the stick was a snake or something, you know what I mean? Definitely. Like they transcended imagination, and that's really fun, I think.
Yes, of course.
So rest in peace to all of those very impressionable, very important people.
Yeah, we'll just do like a little moment of silence for everyone, and not even necessarily famous people.
Also just people,
in people I know personally, or in the realm of people my friends know. There's been a lot of losses in our community, sadly, due to overdosing or just random stuff. Like everyone's just dying, and it's really sad. So, you know, check on your loved ones, and let's be understanding and help when we can, because you never know who's going to be here tomorrow or not.
Absolutely. Tell everyone you love them. Make sure you hug people, and don't hold on to those grudges. Let go of anger. That's the only way to move forward and move the world forward, is to let go of anger and hold love in your heart. Because just like Jess said, you never know when that person's last day on earth is.
Yeah, that's why I always hug everyone really hard, because I don't know if I'm going to see them again.
That's what we're going to do after we end this podcast.
Okay, and let's give a little moment. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Well, it's getting late.
It is.
And this episode is a little bit longer than usual. Send us some feedback. How do you feel about a longer episode? This just felt like a really good, natural conversation. I feel like we both had a lot to say, and it's, I liked it.
I did too. So yeah, definitely let us know. Write in again submissions again, hopefully with an email or a way to contact you in case we have more questions. If you're going to go through the Google
send
Docs.
us stuff if you don't want to use the submission form. You can message us through email or on Instagram.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. Check us out on Twitter as well, and
Facebook. Yeah, everything's on our link tree.
Yeah. I love you.
I love you. See you next time.
In the Abyss.
Bye.
Bye.